So we're trying to get a world that's better, because we see a lot of problems. We accept that there's a problem. We're not in denial. So then we seek to solve these problems, right? But the mistake is to approach it from capitalism or politics. Because it never gets done that way. It will never succeed. These angles or perspectives on the world and what to do with it are always going to be corrupted. They're corrupted. They don't really seek to do what they're saying they're going to do. They talk out of one side of their mouth, two-faced, say one thing and do the other. And we can't have this kind of hypocrisy from people. They try to hide things. I'm not going to name any names because you've heard all the examples in the news if you've looked at it. I mean, if you haven't, then I'll make you another video from the naive position. I wish everybody was naive. I wish that I could shelter everybody from the garbage that's out there. But look, you've been exposed to it, you see what is going on, and then everybody gets desensitized, which is like being jaded. We see this and we can't do nothing about it. So the reason for my last video, the one prior to this, I'm doing a program. I welcome it being called a cult, first of all, because everybody who's doing it, you think that's hilarious that you're in a cult. I think it's hilarious that we're in a cult, something that people call a cult. I think it's a riot. But I hit the nail on the head. Because, like the lottery says, you gotta be in it to win it. A cult means you need to join in, you need to give your word. It's like a political party, or a religion, or a company like Walmart's, and if you want to buy into the company, you gotta get company stock. And if you're an employee, I guess you can do that. It's a differently run company. It's kind of like socialism. IBM was like that too. I think they still are. Now, if you join, you're going to see how we can face the world's crisis in a different way. Instead of complaining all the time, and I mean specifically complaining. In other words, whenever anything happens, we say, oh, this and this person, this one's right wing and this one's left wing. Right wing. Left wing. Or center. Right of center, left of center. Whatever. That's such a stupid, useless paradigm. So, like, this is part of the paradigm shift that I'm talking about. It's right here. It's right here. Nobody can criticize me on it. I've been through all this. I've made some mistakes on here, and I keep them up like a badge of honor. You can see these videos where I was doing things wrong, but you know what? I don't know what social media and social networking was instantaneously. I had to, go through the ropes. just like everybody else. You don't know what's going on until you get on here. You get trolled, you get hated, you try. But I was real, and I always wanted to be the real deal. I'm not funded by anybody else. You know that. You know that. Every one of you out there, you know that. You going around dipping in here and dipping in there and double dipping and what you can get. This onion dip, that looks good. What can I get now? It's like a party favors. You know, what's in the punch bowl? Oh, did I mention the Kool-Aid? Now, you can't be doing that. And I will not be advocating that. I don't do things that way. I don't. I'm in it for success. You got to put yourself outside of what's going on, first of all, like I have, or else you cannot understand. You gotta basically clean the slate. Clean it, clear it, wash it off. They have a term in Indian mysticism, tabula rasa. I'm a carpenter, by the way. I'm a carpenter. I swing a hammer, just like swinging an axe, and I hit the nail on the head. I do. I know how to work with stuff. Now, working with the human society is more complicated than anything else because you have to respect free will. So, I'm asking everybody out there to continue to keep your word. You can't flip-flop. You need to put in a good effort here, a concentration, a continuum. Do it selflessly, even though I tell you, everybody is selfish. What's in it for me? But try to do it selflessly, like compassion, because you're trying to serve the world, and don't, think about your own ego, what's it going to do for you. That'll come up later. Yeah, you'll get your place in the kingdom of heaven, and the kingdom of God will be yours, the promised land. Yeah, okay. That's true. But we've got to do what we've got to do right now. We have to do what we got to do. And I will rest assured with a clean conscience 100% that Jesus Christ, if Jesus Christ came here, I doubt that he would have any single problem with what I do. Because I've admitted my mistakes, I know what my weaknesses are, but for the most part what I do is not against that plan. It's not against that prophecy. It's all for it. It can work prior to it. It's going to greet it and join with it. It's the same thing. That's why I always mention it. I can't be one of these nonsensical atheists because I'm afraid to understand something, or I'm afraid to be, gripping on to something that Christians do. I don't care. Most of the Christians I could just get rid of, but I don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. The Christians are the bathwater. They're the dirt and the filth in there, muddying up the whole thing. They're the nasty crud. That's what's going to get washed away. But we've still got the baby. I don't throw the baby out with it. I just throw the bathwater out. Those are the Christians. So I'm not worried about cleaning up. Like I said, we got to clean the slate. But you've still got the slate. There's a blank slate. Well, you've got to have a slate. That's a foundation to write the message. Here is the message. Enough of the symbolism. I'm asking people to think in their minds positively about what we can do. And this is non-denominational. And as I said, it's not capitalistic. It is non-political. It's not a political party. But it is charismatic because I have to inspire people. And until someone can do exactly what I'm doing, like speak the program and promote the program, then I have to do everything. If you can do some, then I recommend that you do that. And I've been in community projects before, but this is bigger. This is bigger because we need representatives from all around the world to do this. I don't know how formal we need to get right away, because it doesn't really matter. Then you turn into like a bureaucracy. Then it, verges on what everything else is plagued with. So I started out on this course by realizing how all these people were operating. Typically a person sees what's going on and they don't really want to solve it unless they figure out, like, what's their angle. Are they Republican trying to solve it? Are they a Republican conservative? Do they have like a libertarian influence? All these things. To me, I don't care. There's none of that. I'm just a human being. I'm a concerned I was going to say citizen, but if I'm a citizen of the world. I'm a global citizen. I met with the guy who does one of the world's first world passports.
You want the door closed or open?
You can leave it open. Yeah. And he was up in the state of Vermont, so I checked out that whole concept. But whether it's formalized or not, or whether you have to have it, I think it's a nifty thing. You might as well have it if you have a passport. And it should be recognized as we go to a more global, universal outlook for humanity. But I'm that way. I'm like a world passport kind of citizen. And in that sense, I'm very concerned by the situation now. If nothing is right, we got to fix it. I'm not waiting around to be plucked up to go to some reward. It doesn't work that way. It never has. Never has. Never will. Never will. No one deserves that. No one's just going to have everything plopped down in their lap. Like, yeah. No one's going to have a house just built for them or the perfect bedroom, and it takes a lot of work. This all has to be done. It's hard work. It's where the rubber meets the road. It's where the devil's in the details. I'm sorry to bring up that. Yeah, the devil is a thing that we've got to contend with. Defeat it. Why are you guys moving the playpen? Well, I gotta go, folks. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you are reconfirming your word with everything you hear, with every video that you see, and start putting your mind into the right way so you can see. We don't need any political parties in here. We don't need any denominations or religions. We don't need any of that. We just need to be simply, basically, really what we are, and joining together because of our common goal. And believe that something can come of it. Believe that great things can come of it. Believe that this is what the world needs. And you are officially in the cult. Yeah. Like this. Share it. Comment. Comment. From wherever you are. I don't even need to see you. Actually, don't leave a comment if you don't want to. Just save this to your favorites. And make sure you're subscribed. YouTube is flawed, and that's how it is. So double check your subscriptions. Thanks.